Okay, so I decided that I should fix my the soffits. I'm gonna do like a little kitchen refresh. So this is our third, almost our fourth season living here in the desert during the winter. So I decided that the soffit space over my cabinets was too bare and it needed some fun things. So I'm gonna put some baskets up and some blue containers and you're gonna see how I did it. So stay tuned. So I went to Home Goods and bought some blue containers. I don't know if they're actually gonna work, but we're gonna try them in the space over the refrigerator. So here we go. So I am one of these crazy people who kind of puts things in bags and puts them in my garage, never knowing when I might need them. This is a great big trash bag filled with, bubble wrap, and I just kept it, and I wasn't sure why, but now I know why. Pay attention. So my idea is I'm gonna fill the bottom of the basket with the plastic bubble wrap, and then I'm going to add the ivy. So stay tuned. So here's me doing the first part. So I take way more bubble wrap than you'd ever think you'd need. And I just shove it inside here. And this way, you won't have to, have a bunch of foam in here. You can just use this bubble wrap, and it'll accommodate whatever I want it to do. So, got a whole big bag of bubble wrap. Who knew? So happy I saved it. Okay, and because these baskets are going to be high, remember up on the soffit, you just want to keep the bubble wrap so that it doesn't open up above the level of the basket. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take this ivy, and I bought these little clumps of ivy, and I'm just going to shove them into the bubble wrap. So sort of stand back and and I'm going to arrange it so that the ivy is sort of tumbling over the top of the basket. And I'm just going to wedge this little ivy way inside the bubble wrap. Now, mind you, it's not going to be really solid, but it's going to be on really high soffit, so it's not going to matter. And so I'm just going to shove the last one in here. And put all these little ivies in here. And then I'm going to just have them cascading out. And then once they're up, once I get them in the space, then I will, I'll maybe make them look prettier. But also what I think is fun to do is there's handles, and so what you can do to kind of anchor the ivy is you can kind of act like the ivy's growing in between the handles, and that will keep them from kind of bouncing out of there if, if somehow or another the ivy got jostled. But again, it's unlikely to get jostled because it's going to be up high on a soffit, 6 feet or so, or 8 feet high. So I don't think that's likely to be a problem. So there we go. All right, got all this. I think this is good. So let me show you how it looks from the front here. So there's kind of the front of the basket, and hopefully that will look good. But if it isn't, I'll go ahead and adjust it once it's up in its place. Okay, so you can see my little progress. I've actually done a couple of the baskets and put them up. I've actually done the bubble wrap and the ivy, put them up there. And I even have put in one pot, one of the little blue and white urns, another one, ignore the letter, and then an empty basket. It's a little tricky because there's different size spaces here, but I'm kind of getting there. And then the plan is to put this last basket over the refrigerator. And I think I'm gonna have to go back and get a few more of these urns at the store so I can kind of get a little more balance. But we're getting there. So far the plan is to get the baskets up there. This one's gonna stay empty on the end because he's sort of a one-off. And then I'm gonna have the blue, I'm gonna put in the center above the fridge here, I'm gonna put this new basket I just showed you how I made. Keep that little blue pot. And I think I'm gonna get 2 more blue pots, if I can find them, on either side of the right-hand cabinet. And over the microwave, it's a smaller expanse, so I think I'm not gonna do any blue pots over there. I'm just gonna have the ivy. But just realize it's kind of a playing, you have to kind of play with your eye and the proportions to get it right. So we're in the middle of our project here. I have to head over to Home Goods and see if I can get some more of these blue pots. All right, I'm gonna complete the story of the kitchen soffit refresh in a minute, but I just wanted to take a little commercial break to show you something. In my kitchen here, we have this massive, really big island, and it's just so big that when I moved in, I thought it was great, and I actually went and bought this gorgeous rooster that I had been eyeing for years. And this guy is big. I mean, he is just really tall, maybe 25 inches tall. So I thought, okay, he's gonna be perfect. And at first, you know how it goes. You think it is perfect. But then I realized he looked a little lonely. And then I thought, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do about that. And then I had an inspiration. My oldest son and daughter-in-law came back from their honeymoon in Portugal, and they brought me this really cute little kind of a trivety dish. And it was blue and white and yellow, and I thought, I really only have kind of red and yellow and orange in my kitchen, but I just love this dish. Maybe I'll put it in there at some point. And so I thought, well, I'll just bring it to California from my Chicago home. And then I read an article that said that you can actually use this blue and white pottery in any kind of decor, that it's kind of like blue jeans. So I decided to test them out and see if they were right. So I went over to Home Goods and bought a great big bowl. And I'm going to show you how I arranged it on my counter. And I just put him up here, and I thought, oh, he looks kind of good with the rooster. Now the rooster doesn't look quite so lonely, but it seems like he needs a little more. And then I remembered I had several pieces of this blue and white pottery at my Chicago house that I really wasn't using in my current decor. So I had popped them all in a box, that I travel. And when I come here from Chicago, I actually bring along, I pack my car with stuff. So this was in the car, this little vase. And so I said, So I got here and I put the little blue vase next to the rooster, and I felt like that was getting some nice balance. And then, but I kind of like odd numbers if I can pull them off. And then I got the little bowl in the middle, and I think this looks so cute. So here is my new island, and I think it looks so pretty. So stay tuned. In a few minutes, you're going to see the whole kit and caboodle of the soffits and the island, and see my full blue and white kitchen refresh that I added to my yellow and orange routine. All right, so this is the final, I think, version of the blue and white kitchen reveal that I wanted to show you. So as you can see, I now have the blue ginger jars and urns above in the soffit, along with the baskets of ivy. I've got a lot of red accessories down on the kitchen counter line, which I can show you a little bit more about. The big island has the 3 items, so it looks, the blue and white base with the forsythia, which you could change out in the fall, with some orange bittersweet blossoms or some greenery at Christmas time, as well as that blue and white bowl, which you could put greens in and ornaments at Christmas time. And then over at the other side of the eating area, you can see I had actually this little yellow valance, this yellow print valance made from a place called Calico Corners. There's a fun clock I never talked about. That's a fun clock I found at every one of those consignment shops. And then I ended up finding this matching oilcloth print placemats for my table. I have a ginger jar vase on the table with some little silk tulips in there, and then this is pretty much how the room looks, and you can see all the pretty little greens and blues. And then you can see I mostly had red accessories going across here, which is all been fun. That's how I originally started. I added a rooster from my friend Colleen Parker, who's an artist, and then I have more of the red accents going along here. I had this little blue piece of pottery that was inspirational in the whole blue and white reveal. And then you can see I even put some blue in the rug that I found. So this is, instead of just being an orangey red rug, I added some blue in that. And then back around the bend here, you can see the red containers for my little soap dispenser and lotion and all that. And then lastly, there's this cute little dishcloth, which was very much of an inspiration to the red, blue, and yellow French kitchen reveal.